For customer assistance, billing inquiries, or to block future calls, dial 1-877-650-4249. To hear the cost of this call, press 8 now. To accept this call, press 5 now. To decline this, hang up. This call is subject to monitoring and recording. Do not use three-way or call waiting features during this call. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hey, good morning, brother. Good time for an update?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It sure is. And feel free to go through your list first. I was just making a video about you, as a matter of fact, but an important concept was been shared. I've been discussing with another guy on YouTube, and it was kind of overwhelming to think about, and that is the fact that there's no victim in your crime. You know, there's not a victim in your old crimes, and there's no victim in your new crime. It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, the fact that the judge said you don't appreciate the farmers who put food on the table, and the what do you call it, the military who protects you, and all that stuff. That's just political rubbish. I'm sorry to go off on all this, but I was just overwhelmed with that thought that you spent 8 years in prison and there's no victim. And so I'm going to try to put that idea out to people, because child pedophiles, rapists, murderers, Al Sharpton owes $4.5 million, and nobody says anything about them, and they get a lot less time than 8 years. But anyway, you caught me when that idea was just percolating in my head. And what's on your list, sir? And I'll write it down.
Yeah, I'd still like to know who the victim is and what the crime was. What on earth did I do? Tried so hard.
Amen.
I think I'm the victim of something here.
Yeah.
Anyway, Laura Beth said she mailed you the update, that blog update.
Okay, very good. How many copies would you like me to send you? Because I don't know how many I can fit in a particular letter. Maybe I can mail you like 20 copies per letter or something, or?
I don't think they'll let that happen. They could and should. They would get it updated, give it to Randall, and Randall can give it to Dana Stone. And he will work with the chaplain, and they can work that out to see how many. Because I would go through 20 every week.
Yeah.
30, Some days I go through 20 just in one day. Last night I only got 5 or 6 letters, so it varies. But I'd say, this would be up to Dana Stone or to, he can work that up. I'll talk to chaplain when he comes by and see. There's nothing wrong with having the letter, even multiple copies. It's just they won't let you mail in more than probably 2 or 3 at a time.
Okay.
So it's the mail room that has some kind of limit. Just make sure you change the trial date in there. It's now March 2nd.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
This call is from the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. How's the 2 Peter 3 site looking? You were talking about the house torn down and nothing there. Is it back up yet?
We're working very closely with Randall, and it's in the process of coming. He said he's restructuring everything, so we're kind of making the layout better. And that Racer X, I'll call him Racer X, right? He's the guy that built FreeKentHovind.com and made some great videos. He's in communication with Randall, and I'm going to try to do a scheduled call with Racer X and Josh Jocelyn and myself about your book publishing. Let me also say, when you're doing the discipling responses back to Leslie and whoever you're doing, which is very good. It's very powerful stuff you're saying. And when I first published it, I made it public because I thought it was so well done. And there was people that said that spoke to them because they were in the same place when they first got saved, and it was a good discipling lesson for them. But Leslie got upset because it was my fault. She wasn't upset at you, but you used her first and last name. And so in the future, when you're doing discipling messages, if you just use the first name and don't use the husband's name or the last name, she said she would be okay with making it public, and that way other people can benefit from your discipling messages. I went ahead and edited it out, so Leslie's not mad anymore. She wasn't never mad at you. She was mad at me.
This call is from the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office.
But I'll just quickly wrap up. When you do it in the future, you might want to consider just using the first name. That way other people can benefit from your discipling messages.
Okay, I have one to give you this morning for Gina, so that'd be perfect.
Okay, you tell me when you want to start, and I'll tell you, when you call in the morning, it's almost like you're talking low because you don't want to wake anybody up. So I'm having to turn up my microphone really, really loud. But I know you probably can't speak any because they're probably sleeping. But you tell me when to stop and start, and I'll do it. And you want me to do that now?